Hi there! We would like to give you the opportunity to get your online music class for free. It's actually very simple. Here's how. First, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next, after watching the whole video, send us a message at our Facebook fan page showing the screenshot of your subscription. We will then respond by asking you one question, which you are to answer correctly. Are you up to the challenge?
Hello everyone, I am Liz Liwanag of the Music Studio. I pray that you're all doing well in the comfort of your own homes. And I'm here to tell you that the Music Studio is now offering online classes for those who want to continue their music lessons. And for those of you who haven't started it yet, or who want to have a new hobby, well, you can start right now. If you want to be more productive, make better use of your time, or if you've been wanting to learn a skill but just didn't have the time before, well, you have all the time in the world now. Our mental health is extremely important as of this time, and music is a great way to secure that health. Our frontliners are urging us to stay at home, so we're going to do just that while enjoying it. Let's beat boredom and anxiety, and let's get into music. But if you don't know yet which course you want to take, we're going to give you an insight on what happens on each of these courses that we're going to offer online, so you can have choices in selecting which ones you want to learn. Now, since we're using the United Kingdom curriculum for music, we have different levels, starting from preparatory, moving on to debut, then moving up to grades 1 through grade 8. And as such, we have culminating exams before you can move up to the next grade level. Remember, no one is ever too young nor too old for music. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. If you want, you can even feature you in one of our YouTube videos. So first off, let's see what happens inside a voice class. Of course, we need to relax the whole body, okay? And that includes the facial muscles using our fingers. Okay, this is how we do it. This is just one of the ways we relax our facial muscles, and one of the acoustic techniques, which we will teach you once you get into the program. Okay, so that's one. We have to warm up the whole body, especially the facial muscles, and then we teach you how to breathe the proper way. Now, here's a trivia. Did you know that the primary muscle used in respiration is the diaphragm? Yes, it's not the nose nor the lungs, it's the diaphragm. But actually you cannot see the diaphragm because it's this dome-shaped muscle that separates the lungs and the heart from the abdomen. Now, how do you breathe the proper way? Breathing the proper way is breathing through the diaphragm. How do you do that? When you inhale, you fill in the abdomen, not just the upper half or the lungs. And make sure that your shoulders don't move up. It's exactly like this. That's it. Now, once the student already knows how to breathe the proper way, then we need to vocalize. There are various reasons why vocalization is very important. One is that we need to clear the mucus from our vocal folds. Another is we need to make sure that the student can copy the exact notes being played on the piano. But if that part is a trouble area, then we need to focus on that more before we proceed on moving on to learning a song. Also, varied vocalization exercises can be used depending on the specific need of the student. Here are a few examples of vocalization exercises, and we start off with humming. It goes up and goes back down. Then we also have this vocalization exercise for saying the vowels the right way. So when you say ah, jaw must be dropped, mouth open, ah, e, o, u. And it goes like this. Ma, e, I, o, u. Goes up again and goes back down. And then we have this vocalization exercise, which I find useful for some of my students who have trouble going from a low note directly to a high note, an octave or higher. Well, the vocalization exercise goes like this. Okay, sometimes they go through a middle note before reaching the high note, like ma. Or sometimes they slide through it until they hit the high note, ma. Okay, but this is very crucial, especially if you need to sing from a low note directly to the high note, ma. Okay, so those are just a few of the vocalization exercises that we have. We have a lot more, but that will do for the purposes of this video. Now, once for learning a specific song, a lot of factors come into play. So we'll make sure that you're breathing the right way. There's color or dynamics in how you sing the song. That's the loudness or softness. We need to make sure that the right emotion is there based from the lyrics. Then, of course, we also need to work on the diction. First is you need to pronounce the words right, okay? So troublesome areas would have to be switching the F's and the P's, okay? So that's a very crucial part, especially in some words like hacking, okay? Don't switch the F's and the P's. When you say fact, you have to make sure that you pronounce the T at the end, or the D at the end of a verb that is in past tense. Make sure also that the long A's and the short A's are there, or the short E's and the long E's, like the beach and the other, which we're not going to say here. We also need to make sure that you pronounce the T's properly, the T with the TH, like with the words these and with things. Okay, those are two different ways to pronounce the word, the two letters TH, okay? Oh, and another thing, we have to differentiate between the hard TH, the, and the letter D, as in dog. Like in this, in the case of they, meaning sila, and day, meaning araw. So we have to differentiate between those two words. If it's they, it has to be they, and if it's day, it has to be day. A lesser concern, but still a concern, is mixing up the B's and the V's. Remember that when you sing, you are conveying a message in the same way that when you're talking, you're conveying a message. The only difference is a song has a tune. And that is why emotion is very important. You want to send the right message across and the right feelings across. Also, articulation. Articulation means that you say the words clearly and not gobble them up or eat them. Another thing to watch out for when learning a song is the correct timing. This can be learned just by listening, or it can be taught by counting. And then there's improvisation in proper phrasing and understanding the whole meaning of the song. Internalize it, after which comes the facial expression, the gesture, and the movements. So now, once we're done with all of those, including the vocalization, we move on to learning a song, and we're going to teach you how to read a musical piece. Now, once you start learning music, regardless of whether it is vocals or instruments, we're going to teach you how to read notes, and we're going to teach you how to read a music sheet. Now, there's a difference between reading a book and reading a music sheet. Reading a book, you start from cover to cover, but reading a musical score or a musical sheet is quite different. So this part here is the tempo. It means we have 86 beats per minute. Okay, that's how fast or how slow the song is. And then we find here the chords and the tablature for the guitar. Over here is the notes for the vocalist. And of course, over here is the notes for the piano. This is where you get your lyrics. And then there's a time signature. It says 4/4. So we have 4 beats for every measure. This is a measure, another measure. So based from this song, you have 4 measures before you start singing. And these notes will show you how to sing this part. Okay, so even if you don't know the song yet, if you have a music sheet, as long as you know how to tinker on the piano, well, actually, we're also going to teach you, whether you're an instrumentalist or a vocalist, we're going to teach you how to read the notes. And through solfeggio, you're going to learn the exact pitch of these notes. You'll be able to study the song on your own. So you will also learn solfeggio, the chest voice and the head voice, and the tonal control over these registers. And you'll also learn about melisma, vibrato. You'll also learn how to improvise. Besides, it's gonna be so exciting. You will learn how to sing your favorite song better, so that whenever or wherever you may be, if they ask you to sing, then you would be able to sing the way you want it to sound. So if you want to learn how to sing and sing well, then get your list ready. So all of those are what's inside a vocals class. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. And now, since we're using the United Kingdom curriculum for our music classes, of course we have books for vocals class. And not only that, we also give you music theory classes. It's as if you're entering a music conservatory class. And I'm gonna show you the books that we have. So these are some of the books that we have. We have a lot more, but we have a sample right here for the vocals and the instrument classes, and these for music theory classes. We have a lot for music theory because it's age dependent. So depending on how young you are, we have specific books for you. Now for piano. Here's how a piano class looks like. First, of course, you need to warm up the whole body and make it relax. And especially the fingers, because we're going to be using these a lot. And then you should know how to sit properly. So back should be straight, feet flat on the ground. If your child is still small and if the feet don't reach the ground, then you can use a footstool so that their feet don't dangle in the air, and so that their feet can be flat on the footstool. Now, the elbow should be parallel to the ground. And if they're too small, and if they do like this, if you have an adjustable chair, you can adjust it accordingly. Or if you don't have one, then you can use books to raise your child's sitting position, or anything that's comfortable, but never as soft as a pillow. Well, you have to have your nails cut very short, okay? Because it's the tip of the fingers that should be pressing the piano keys. You don't want your nails scratching the piano keys. And then here's how your fingers should look like once you're playing the piano. It's as if you're holding a ball. So when you hold a ball like this is exactly how your hands should be placed and how your fingers should look like when you're playing the piano, okay? Well, actually, when you sit, you should only occupy the front half of the seat. And then how near or how far? It should be just about this. So that when you place your hands on the piano, on the keys, it will form an angle. It cannot be too near this angle, no, or too far, okay? It needs to be just about this close. And then we're gonna teach you to number your fingers. So left hand, this will be finger number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For your right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It always starts with a thumb. Then we're gonna make you notice the 2 black keys and the 3 black keys. And once you've located the 2 black keys, there are several, we're gonna make you locate the letter C. Letter C is the white key before the 2 black keys. Now, since there are several 2 black keys, sets of 2 black keys, there will also be several C's. And the middlemost C is the middle C. And once you've located the middle C, we're going to have you sit right across it, because the belly button needs to be opposite the middle C, and that's where you put your fingers. And just like in vocals, we're going to teach you the staff divided by bar lines into different measures. So this is the treble staff and the bass staff. The treble staff is usually played by the right hand, and the bass staff is usually played with the left hand. As you can see here, these are the notes of the treble staff, and this is the right part of the piano. And these are the notes of the bass staff, and this is the left side of the piano. So when you play these, you play using the right hand, and when you play these, you play using the left hand. That's for beginners. Now, we're going to teach you that the middle C is this note right here. It's not inside the treble staff nor inside the bass staff. It's somewhere in the middle, and it has its own ledger line. Now, when you see this is the middle C. The middle C is this one. Okay, we've already located the middle C in the piano. So when you see this note, you need to press this key. Just this key and nothing else. So when you press this, since it's a quarter note, you press it once and then lift it. That's one count. Now this one is a half note, and it says here that it has 2 counts. So what you need to do is press it a little longer than the quarter note. So this is how we play it. 1, 2, and then lift. Now this one, the whole note gets 4 counts. So you need to play it a lot longer than these two. So this is how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. So for every note in the staff, there is a corresponding key in the piano. Now, if you do not have a piano yet, but you would still like to try it, here's where ingenuity comes in. You see, necessity is the mother of invention. So if you don't have a piano yet, but you would want to learn how to play it, this will work for beginners, but not for those who have already progressed. We can use an improvised piano, which you can make yourself while on quarantine mode. Okay, so what I have here is a piano on mute. Make sure that you measure it properly. All right, so each piece has to be each piece has to be at least 22 centimeters and 2 centimeters in between the keys. So you can make your own, and we're going to teach you how to do it once you get into the program. Well, you don't need to do the whole thing, this whole stretch here. You just need enough for your 10 fingers. So a whole sheet of paper should do the trick. But once you feel that you really want to pursue it, then you need to get your own piano. So basically what we're going to teach you in piano is one letter at a time. We're going to do it step by step. It's actually very simple. For beginners in piano, you will be taught how to read the notes. You will be taught the values of the notes, meaning how long you're going to press it. We're going to teach you which keys to press and which fingers to press it with, whether it's the right hand or the left hand. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. So now let's see what happens inside a violin class. Okay, so again, we need to make sure that your whole body is relaxed. So this is how you should stand. Feet should be shoulder width apart for balance. Then left foot should be a little forward. You shouldn't lock your knees. And then we're gonna teach you the parts of the violin, the parts of the bow, how to hold this. When you hold the violin, insert it here, find the soft spot. So you can carry the violin without the use of the left hand, because the left hand should be free to move. Now the thumb should be straight. Notice the U shape at the bottom of the thumb. fingers should be free to press the strings. And please make sure that the fingernails are short because it's the tip of the fingers who should be pressing the strings. Okay. Also, please make sure that the violin is at an 11 o'clock angle, not 10 o'clock, nor 9 o'clock, nor 12 o'clock. It should be 11 o'clock. Okay. And then we're going to teach you how to hold the bow. Now this is how you should hold the bow. First, make a circle using the fingers of your right hand, taking note of the thumb and the first joint of the middle finger. Place your thumb and the first joint of the middle finger to hold the bow like this. Please make sure that the thumb keeps this position. Do not let it go stray. Hold it firmly, but make sure that the fingers are not strained. Now gently put the forefinger on the bow grip, the ring finger to cover the eye of the frog, and gently rest the pinky on top of the frog for balance. There you go. So we're also going to teach you how to apply the resin, because without the resin, you're not going to get any sound. So first, we scratch off the top part of the resin to get the resin out. And then, just like as if you're playing the violin, do this 10 times. After 10 times, but you have to do it like this so that the hair of the bow can get an even amount of resin. Okay, and then to get the residue out. Now the bow always has to be drawn in a straight line, parallel to the bridge, midway between the bridge and the fingerboard, and making sure that you touch only one string at a time. Now the rest has to be loose and flexible. So you hold the bow like this, and then there are different angles for playing the different strings. So this is the first position, second position, the third position, and the fourth position. So before we start playing, we're going to make sure that your violin is in tune. So when you tune your instrument, you need to use the tuning pegs. If you need to make the tune more precise, then you need to use the fine tuners, these parts. So we're going to have you download an app to help you with tuning your instrument if you don't have a piano at home. So the fourth string is a G, the third string is a D, the second string is an A, and the first string is an E. Now once we got that right, we can proceed to learning the notes. So for violin, we just have the treble staff. This is the G, this is D, this is A, and this is E. Now quarter note gets 1 count, half note gets 2 counts, and dotted half note gets 3 counts. And we have corresponding rests for these. Initially, especially for little kids, we're not going to use the bow yet. This is the time signature. This means that you have 2 counts for each measure. And the 2 dots here means that you have to repeat the whole thing, start from the beginning, and then that's where you end. Okay. Pids here, it is short for pizzicato, meaning we're gonna pluck. So we're gonna put the thumb here, pluck with the forefinger. And the fun thing here is we have a backing track to help us play this one.
1, 2, 1, 2.
How cool, no? So after playing using the open strings, we're gonna teach you little by little, one by one, the succeeding notes that you get by pressing each of these strings. Now, before you buy your violin, please make sure that your instructor has properly gauged the size that you need to buy, because buying the wrong size will significantly affect the way you play. So that's it for the violin. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. So now we're going to take a look at what happens inside a ukulele and a guitar class. I don't have the guitar with me right now, but teaching both is almost the same. However, there would be certain differences, especially since the ukulele has only 4 strings compared with the guitar, which has 6. So if you're contemplating between learning a ukulele or a guitar, then we suggest that you go for ukulele because it's a lot easier to learn, especially if you're a kid. However, if you would still want to learn the guitar, we would recommend that you buy the junior sized guitar rather than the regular size so that it will fit your body size. And please make sure that you buy a nylon string guitar so it will not hurt as much. So first, of course, we're gonna make you warm up your whole body, your fingers, make sure every part of your body is relaxed. And then we're gonna teach you the parts of your instrument. So if it's a ukulele, the parts of the ukulele. If it's a guitar, whether acoustic, electric, or bass, the parts of your instrument. And then we're gonna make sure that your instrument is in tune using the tuning app that you can download on your cell phone. And we're gonna use the tuning pegs. And then once you're all set, we're gonna teach you how to properly hold your instrument. So here's how you should hold the ukulele as well as the guitar. Okay, thumb is parallel to the fingers. Now when you sit, occupy the front half of the chair. And then for ukulele, just hold it like this. For guitar, well, for rock and pop, it greatly varies among players. But for classical guitarists, it's a lot more stricter, because for classical guitarists, you have to prop up your left foot on a footstool and place the guitar like this. And the guitar has to rest on the left leg. And classical guitarists never use a pick. So now we're ready to play your instrument, whether it's a ukulele or a guitar, using the open strings. Open strings means you're not going to touch anything, you're not going to press anything with your left hand. Keep them open. So it's just this. Okay, for ukulele it's G, D, A, E. For the guitar it's E, A, D, G, B, E, starting from the 6th string. So moving on, we're going to teach you how to press one string at a time. So we need to make sure that you're creating the correct sound. But if you're hearing this sound, you're not pressing it right. You need to press it more so you can achieve this sound. Okay? So now, once you can already create a good sound, when you press a single string, then we can move on to strumming with chords. This part here, the tempo means it's 65 beats per minute. So I already set the metronome to 65. Then we're also going to teach you how to read tablatures. So now we're going to teach you how to read tablatures. If your instrument is a ukulele, which has 4 strings, then your tablature will have 4 lines. If your instrument is a guitar, then you're going to have 6 lines, because each line corresponds to a string on your instrument. And the numbers here corresponds to the fret that you're going to press. So this is fret number 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. So if your chord is a C, you'll notice here that the first string has a number 3 on it. So it means that you're gonna press the 3rd fret on the 1st string. Notice that the rest of the strings are 0, so that means it's an open string. You don't press anything on those strings. Now if it's a G, the 1st string has a number 2 on it, so it means that you have to press the 2nd fret on the 1st string. The 2nd string has number 3 on it, so you have to press the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. The 3rd string has a number 2 on it, so the 3rd string, you have to press the 2nd fret. And the 4th string is a 0, so it's an open string, so you don't press any. The same for the D minor. 1st string is an open string. 2nd string, you press the 1st fret, and you press the 2nd fret for both the 3rd and the 4th strings. That's it. This one here means that you have to strum and count 2 counts before you move on to the next chord. So this is how it's gonna sound, and it's gonna be so much fun because we have backing tracks to make you enjoy learning your instrument. And so on and so forth. It's really very easy, especially if you really want to learn the skill. The same goes for guitar, although you're going to have 6 strings for the guitar, but it's basically the same thing. You can actually sing while playing the instrument that you love, especially for ukulele and guitar, which you can carry around anywhere, anytime. It's really a nice instrument to have around. So that's it for the ukulele and the guitar. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. Okay, now we're going to teach you what happens inside a drums class. So first, we're going to make sure that your whole body is relaxed, and then we're going to teach you the parts of the drums. Okay, we're going to have you sit properly, back straight, and with each of your feet on each of the pedals. We have 2 pedals right here, one for the hi-hat, one for the bass drum. Okay, now we're going to teach you also how to hold the drumstick properly. You're going to have to hold it like so. Okay, make sure that you find the balance point. Okay, the same for the left hand and the right hand. Okay, once you got that, wrap the other fingers like so. Place your hand down like this. And then just in case you don't have a drum set at home, okay, it's okay because we can use any surface to tap onto. You can even use a pillow so that it doesn't make too much noise, okay? Because actually some of our students don't even have a drum set at home. You just need a pair of sticks and a flat surface. Well, if you don't have a pair of drumsticks at home, you can scout around for any kind of stick as long as it's a little long. I don't think the chopsticks will do because it's too short, but I figured that like around 12 to 13 pieces of barbecue sticks would do the trick. Wrap them around, especially this pointed part right here. You don't want any injuries coming out from this tip right here because it's too pointed. Just wrap it around and make sure you have a good grip. So the same with the actual drumsticks. When you hold it, make sure that it's balanced. Okay, the point where you can balance it the most is where you should put your finger on. Okay, so just like in vocals and in other instruments such as violin, ukulele, piano, and guitar, we're also going to read notes in drums. So here, in this particular staff, you'll notice that there's a double bar. before the time signature. That means it's a drumsticks. So here, you'll know that this note, if it's on this space, on the first space down here, it's the bass drum that you should be hitting. If it's up there, on the third space, it's going to be the snare that you're going to be hitting. And so up here, if you see this notation here, this means that you have to hit the hi-hat, but the hi-hat has to be closed. So this is the hi-hat, and you have to press the pedal so it will close. And when you see the notation I mentioned earlier, then you have to hit the hi-hat with the hi-hat closed. Now, just like in the previous music courses or instruments, we also have this, the tempo, to tell us how fast or how slow the music is. And then we have the time signature. And then the bar lines, which divides the staff into measures or bars. This one means that you're gonna hit the snare. Single strokes means you have to play once with your right and then once with your left. So R is for right, L is for left. So with the use of a metronome at 90 beats per minute, this is how it goes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And so on and so forth. Now double strokes means you have to play twice with your right, then twice with your left. So here's how it goes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And so on and so forth. Now paradiddle is a combination of single and double strokes. Let's try this.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
And so on. So you have a specific notation for every drum part. And we're going to teach you each step by step. So don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. Now we're going to check out what happens inside a flute or piccolo class. Now, just like in violin or ukulele and guitar, you need to have your own flute or piccolo. You cannot improvise on this one. You need to have your own. But if you really want to learn it and you still don't have it, you can still start your music classes by having music theory lessons. So that once your instrument is already with you, then you already know the notes and you can easily apply them on your instrument. Now the piccolo is basically a smaller version of the flute, and how you teach it is almost the same, except that the sound you produce in a piccolo is an octave higher than the flute. And proper posture should be observed. Right foot should be a little forward and the left foot should be in line with the body. And then we're gonna teach you the parts of the flute and the piccolo, whichever instrument is. And we're going to teach you how to assemble your flute and your piccolo. For the flute, we have 3 parts. For the piccolo, we have 2. Now, when holding the flute, for the piccolo, your hands should be curved as if you're holding a ball, just like when you're playing the piano. And then when you blow, you have to inhale, just like when you're inhaling like a vocalist, you have to inhale using the diaphragm. And you're also going to learn how to read notes. So that's it for flute and piccolo. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. Now the music studio is not only offering music classes, but we're also offering language classes, specifically basic French and English. So with languages, of course, we started off with alphabets and how to pronounce them. Saying the alphabet in French is a little different from that of English. Then we move on learning the nouns, the pronouns, the verbs, the articles, the adverbs, and the adjectives. The basic framework that you will need in order to form simple sentences to complex sentences. You will learn how to read, how to write, and how to pronounce them correctly. So that's what you're going to learn in your language classes for basic French and English. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and share this to your families and friends. So, wrapping things up, I pray that by taking a peek on what each course has to offer, we were able to help you decide which program you want to get into. If it's vocals, if it's piano, if it's the violin, if it's the ukulele, the guitar, whether acoustic guitar, classical guitar, bass guitar, or electric guitar, or the drums. So basically, any instrument that sparks your interest is fairly easy to do once you start doing it. You just need to put your whole mind and heart into it. And there are 3 very important things for a musician, sometimes 5. And that is 1, practice. Number 2, practice. Number 3, practice. Part 5 will have to be still practice. But for me, top of the list is prayer, because we need God's wisdom on this. We need to ask Him for this talent, this gift that only He can give. And then the 3 P's will follow. Practice, practice, practice. So if you want to be more productive, if you want to make better use of your time, make it more worthwhile, or if you want to take care of your mental health by fighting boredom, stress, anxiety, fear, let this be your outlet. Let's make music, and let's send it all back to heaven, the author of all music. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button and share it to all your families and friends. Stay safe, everyone. God bless you all.